Come tomorrow, India will be celebrating Dussehra. As per our scriptures, on this day, Lord Ram killed Ravan, which symbolizes victory of good over evil. Now, with an aim to kill such evil in our lives, today we will focus on the biggest evil of our life, that is the shopping urge. If we don't keep purchasing impulses in check, if we don't keep our impulses in check, then we may actually go into big debt. So, on this special occasion of Dussehra, we want you to smartly shop and know what are the perils of using your credit card excessively and how to ensure you don't hurt your credit score in doing this. To talk about all of this today on the show, I have Harshala Chandorkar, Chief Operating Officer, TransUnion CIBIL. Harshala, good evening. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure to have you.
Good evening, Kavita. Always
First,
a pleasure to be part of the show.
thank you so much and happy Dussehra to you and your team. So the festivities are on, Harshala, and people are on shopping spree. As we just talk about it, there are a lot of reports coming in where the shopping sentiment, retail sentiment, buying consumption sentiment is on an all-time high. But as you are on the panel today, I want you to advise our viewers of how to shop smartly, and more than that, how to use your credit card smartly, because this is the time when you can just fall into this loop of being in huge debt.
Absolutely. I mean, as you rightly said, people are celebrating festivals after a gap of 2 years. There is a lot of, I would say, energy. We can see it on the streets. We are seeing it in terms of the growth in the past few months. And we definitely will see it in post Dussehra. There is Diwali coming, so we will continue to see that kind of growth in terms of the inquiries that are happening, in terms of the loans that are getting sanctioned. So from a end consumer's perspective, I think two or three things which people should keep in mind is, one is whether you are going to be using your credit card or whether you're going to be using a personal loan or a consumer durable loan. That particular loan will get reflected on your credit report. That will impact your CIBIL score. So when you are going to apply for a loan, you must ensure that you're making payments on time. When you're going to swipe your credit card, you must ensure that you make payments on time, again, on that credit card that you've swiped, you've used. So one must look at how much you can spend, and on that basis, you should go with your shopping spree, if I may say that.
Okay, but then few things that a person should already keep in mind, because the kind of demand outlook and consumption that we are seeing, okay, it'll be high during the festive season, but then it's also going on post pandemic. I mean, it's just picking up more momentum, Harshala. So now during that period, now since that period, you've been shopping and piling your credit card bills and just increasing your statements. How important it is for you to first sit down and analyze the amount that you have on your credit card and then go on for more purchases, because also explain us how will this impact your credit score.
Absolutely. I think, everyone has to be first aware of all your finances. So not just credit cards, but what are the different types of loans that you've taken. A lot of times, what happens is, this is what we've learned when we've done consumer education programs, is you go to an electronics store and you've used credit to buy that particular electronic item. People don't think that, it's taken on credit. It will appear in your credit report, but that is also a loan that will appear in your credit report. So it will come as a consumer durable loan. It will come as a personal loan. So one must look at what are the different types of loans which are there on your credit report. What is your credit card limit? How much of that credit card limit are you using? What's the kind of credit period that you have in terms of making those payments? So the first thing is being aware. And you can be completely aware of all your finances by looking at your own CIBIL report, by looking at your CIBIL score. We do provide one report free annually, but you can also subscribe to your CIBIL report and look at it at least once in 3 months, once in 6 months, to look at all the loans that appear on your report. What's your score? How can you look at ensuring that you're making payments on time so that your credit history looks good and positive. So that's the first thing that you must do. Be aware of all your finances, of all the debts that you have, and then ensure that you make payments on time on all the types of loans that you have on your credit cards on a monthly basis.
Sure. Now, tell me one thing. What if you already have a bad credit score and you are still going on with piling up debt?
So, what will happen is if you have a credit score which is not considered as good, you must look at how can you improve your credit score. The most important factor is making payments on time on all the loans that you've taken. So you have to ensure that you start making payments on time, because that will ensure that your score will improve. So that's most important thing that you must look at and consider. Yes, there are situations, unfortunate situations, when you are not able to make those payments on time. To discuss it with your bank, there are options which banks provide in terms of the loans that you've taken, in terms of the outstandings that you have. So you must have a conversation with your bank to ensure what can be done to ease the situation out for you. But if you've taken a debt, then you have to pay it back. So you have to get into that rhythm of ensuring payments happen on time.
All right, Harshala, what happens is during this festive frenzy that's around, a lot of people go on for buying new credit cards also and pick up instant loans or low cost loans. What will be that word of caution from your end for these kind of people who not necessarily need these kind of financial backups, but then just for the sake of, being under this festive environment, one might just get carried away?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the frenzy that's happening in the market, people do tend to get carried away. But I think the most important thing that one must keep in mind is that if I have taken a loan, if I have bought something on my credit card, if I've taken a consumer durable loan, I have to make that payment, right? Because it is a loan that I've taken. I have to return that money back to the bank. So one must look at your own budget. How much am I able to afford? Will I be able to pay that EMI? Will I be able to make that credit card payment? And only then take that loan, only then use your card to swipe it. I think that is very, very important. I think in any financial decision, even if you're going to make a large purchase or even a small purchase, I think being financially disciplined is really very, very important. How do you ensure that if you've taken loans, if you have debt obligations, you make payments on time? That is super, super critical. So I think that's something which everyone should keep in mind when they're going to take additional debt, or when they're going to use your credit card for any kind of purchases.
One thing, how does one actually, I mean, you've already explained how to get your credit score checked, but then how important it is for you to have a disciplined way for this also. It's not like you are doing a credit score check now and then, you just forget about it. Is it important to have a disciplined approach even for checking your scores before you go for any big purchase, or before you get caught up into something that's going to take a financial toll over you, and, you might just land up having a very heavy loan portfolio? How often can one actually, or should one actually check credit scores?
Absolutely. It's a very, very important habit. And I will compare it almost to like a health check, right? We do regular health checks. Similarly, if you are going to be applying for a loan, then it's important for you to have a look at your credit report, have a look at your CIBIL score, but not just at the time of applying for a loan, but even if you do it periodically, at least once in 3 months, once in 6 months, if you do it, then you know what is there in your credit report. What loans are appearing, are they updated, what's your score looking like? Then when you go and speak with your bank where you're going to make a loan application, you go with that much more confidence. So I would say that you must look at your own CIBIL report and score at least, I would say, once in 3 months. And we do have, as I mentioned earlier, one free annual report is available, including the score. But you can also subscribe for it, and every 3 months, just go to the website or go to the app and have a look at it, so that you know, you are aware. I think the most important thing, apart from being financially disciplined, is being aware. So you know what is there in your CIBIL report, you know what your CIBIL score is, because that's one of the important factors which will get considered when you apply for a loan. And as we apply for a loan, we get all our documents ready, whether it is the income statements, whether it is income tax return statements. So we prepare all those documents and then we apply. Similarly, your CIBIL score and CIBIL report are going to get considered when you apply for a loan. So why not be aware of that? Why not be aware of what's there in your report and what your score is? So very, very important. Do it at least once in 3 months, once in 6 months, because it's as important as your health check.
Tell me one thing, in a scenario where a person is not able to pay the credit card bill, like first of all, this situation should not arise. You should be planning it really well. You should be able to have that credit card discipline and hygiene. But then what a lot of people do is they have more than 2, more than 3 credit cards, and if at all they are finding it difficult to pay it off, they just cancel the card with the bank, and then that's the long going on process forever where the bank tries to get the money out of them. How does these kind of scenarios or situations or instance impact your credit score? Because it's not only a score issue over here, it's also about your financial discipline and your financial life going forward.
Yes. So if you have a credit card and if you've used that credit card, that information will get reported to CIBIL. So that means it will appear on your report. If you've not made a payment, then that aspect about payment not being done will also get reported. So in an instance when if you think that you can just ignore making the payment, that will keep on reflecting on your credit report month on month basis. So it will be like first month will be 30 days past due. So that means you've not made a payment. You've missed one payment cycle. Next month, it will be 60 days past due. So what happens is your delinquency keeps increasing, and the total amount that has to be paid back to the bank will also increase, because every month there will be interest that will get charged on the amount that's not paid. So that means your amount will keep increasing, your delinquency on your credit report will get increasing 30, 60, 90, etc. And that will have an impact on your score. So it is best that if you want to close a card, ensure you've made full payments, you have a closure letter from the bank, so that you're closing that one particular relation or engagement that you have with that bank completely. So it appears very clean on your report as well. Because when you go next time to apply for any loan or even for a credit card, that point that you had a credit card in the past and you've not made payments for how many months will get reflected, and the lender will look at it that yes, you had credit cards in the past and you've not made payments. So that is not a wise thing to do. The wise thing for you to do is, if you want to change your card, and you want to close it, then ensure that you've made all the payments and then close the card.
One very important question: how do you rectify your credit score? What is the procedure? How much time do you have to give? And till the time you do it, can you still go on making purchases through your credit card, or keep on taking loans? How can one plan this?
Absolutely. So this is, I think, a very, very important process for consumers to understand. Being aware is important. You look at your own CIBIL report. You look at what has got reported under your name, the loans that you've taken, what are the amounts that have got reported. If you feel that there is any inaccuracy in the reporting that has happened, then what you can do is you can approach us. We will look at the information that has got reported. We will help you in terms of getting the data corrected. So there will be analysis which will be done at our end, and there will also be, on your behalf, we will interact with the banks to get information corrected. So that's something that you can do. It is a very easy way to do it. The way you can access your own report through our website. Similarly, you can raise disputes on our portal. We will look at the disputes that have got raised, and on that we will help solve those inaccuracies that may appear on your credit report. It typically takes about 30 days time frame to get it corrected. That's an outer time frame, but we will try and get it corrected to you, the information corrected to you at the earliest. But that's the process that is followed.
One thing I want you to explain our viewers: a lot of intermediaries or agencies that say that we can help you in rectifying your credit scores. Should one actually rely on them or just go the organic way?
What you can do is, the process to rectify any inaccuracies which are there on your credit report are very simple. So you can yourself go and register your dispute on our website. Once it gets registered, we will analyze it. We will do the liaising with the banks wherever required and get it rectified for you. So I would recommend that, one, you can do it yourself. But before that, I think, being aware of what is there in your credit report, checking it very regularly. What's your CIBIL report looking like? That is important. But you can do it yourself. It's a very, very simple and easy process for consumers to do.
Harshala, you are usually interacting with a lot of bankers. Since there's a retail loans, okay, banks really depend on that a lot. What kind of information do they seek from a credit score agency like yours when they are about to give a loan to someone?
So banks, of course, each bank has their own credit policies, but apart from the various documents which they collect either digitally or through a physical mode from the borrowers, is your basic identity proof, address proofs, income proofs. These are documents that they seek before a loan gets sanctioned. But what they also, one important aspect that they look at is your CIBIL report and score. So that is a important component that goes into while they take a credit decision based on their credit policies. So that becomes an important, I would say, integral part of checking whether a loan should be given, not be given. So that becomes, apart from the other things that they check, this also becomes an integral part in the entire loan application process.
Okay, so these are the points that one should keep in mind before going deep into the shopping list for this festive season. It's a pleasure to have you always on the show, Harshala. That will be all. We are running out of time. Thank you so much for being a part of this show.